Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melina Landrio, and I want to thank you all for returning and joining me today to share space. I know it's been a little while, guys. It's been really super busy on my end, and I'm just happy to be back. I do have a few channeled messages to share with you today. So I was talking with somebody about a church. I was learning about a church in Istanbul that was changed into a mosque. And then later on that day, I had a vision of this church, or a reminder of this conversation. And I began, as I began to see this again, I started to, I had to clear my throat, and I started having a coughing fit. And then I started thinking that somebody is drowning. So this could be significant. Somebody may have drowned. Then I was also reminded of a friend's pool. And I had this vision of a woman, and she had short, dark hair. And the bridge of her nose, it seemed elongated. And this, but the tip of her nose, or the end of her nose, seemed more oval or rounded. And she had brown eyes, or has brown eyes, or the depth of her eyes gives this rich warmth, like brown eyes. They're very compassionate and vibing. Like brown eyes are always, I always find puppy dog eyes. They're very warm. They're exuding warm hug to me. I don't know. That's kind of what it's giving. And this woman had a really nice smile. And then I saw the same woman, and she changed, it's like a flash of her changing. And it's like I'm recalling her younger. Like she had long, thick, it's like I was recalling her and she was younger. And she had really thick blonde hair. And when I saw this woman, it was resembling the woman with the short, dark hair. But this woman had long, blonde hair now, as I'm looking at her. And I feel like this is a past version of her with the blonde hair. Now she has short, dark hair. Anyway, she has long, thick blonde hair, and she resembled this woman. And furthering her description, there is a mole or a beauty mark on the side of her face, like on her cheek, jaw area. I'm unsure which side. And I'm also being reminded that for some reason I was privy to go inside this person's home before. And particularly, I remember seeing her closet. And I remember thinking how meticulous this person was. Like all their jeans were hanging out meticulously. A very organized person. Very precise, almost military style environment is what came to mind. And I don't know why all of this started coming up, or why I was even in this house. I remember there was a reason why I was in there. I was with a friend, I think, that may have been watching the house, and they ensured that it was okay for me to go in with them, and they brought me up to this room, is what I started to recall. Anyways, she brought me inside this room for whatever reason. And at the time that I got this channel, that was really bothering me, that I couldn't remember why I was there. And to be honest, I didn't even remember this person until this vision came through in this Istanbul coughing, choking, and then maybe someone drowned. Maybe it's a friend's pool or something. Came up to mind. But I was likely between the ages of 8 and 11 around that time. I was really young. And this person that I'm seeing was a teenager at the time. They were older than me, and she had a younger brother, I remember. Well, I don't remember associating with them all that much, but the person that I knew who lived near them associated with them. And I recall that she had this long blonde hair and she had bangs. And this is all coming forward with something to do with the drowning. Or perhaps the day I almost drowned. That could be significant. I'm also being made aware of someone lying about that, because the truth is always the reality of it. And the figmentation of lying about something, it always resolves in failure. So it's always best to speak the truth, and it's always best to steer clear of fibbing, because it will land you in a bunch of dog doo-doo, right? Because it's hard to follow your lies around when you lie about things. You can't keep them straight, because they're not the truth, right? If you have experienced something, it's imprinted in you, it's the truth, you're not going to forget that. But if you're making something up that's not really imprinted in you, how are you going to remember the accuracy of it? That's coming up for whatever reason. So if somebody's lying about a drowning or an almost drowning that occurred. Anyways, the stories change, the time frames change. I don't know why, but this brunette that I'm seeing at the beginning of the channel, and I feel like it's this blonde girl from my past. It's she's got olive skin. She looks fair, but she tans easily. She's got big lips, a beautiful smile, something to do with a neighborhood pool, which is what I'm seeing, which is reminding me of the time I almost drowned in that pool. I got the sense that she knows something, or she knows what, you know. I'm trying to remember her name. I know the name Mark is significant. I think that's the brother. Might be her brother's name. Anyways, I started hearing the song She Knows. She Knows. She Knows. I can't. She knows. She knows. She knows. And then the name Jennifer comes to mind, but also the name Stacy for whatever reason. But I think the name is Jennifer. Anyways, I drew a picture of her. So this is the woman that I saw with the short hair. She was very, very thin. I know I drew her kind of overly thin. She's not overly thin, but she's got a nice bone structure, nice structure from what I was being showed. And she looks beautiful with this long hair, a short hairstyle. And I made it darker like the bangs. That's how the haircut kind of looks. But then I kind of added the long, thick hair because I think she used to wear it kind of long. It might have been down to like this area, and I feel like it was always behind her shoulders. So I just added the lines there. If you could picture this, a blonde, but then also just picture with the short hair, a brunette. This is what I was being showed. So I don't know if that's clear, if that makes any sense. But for somebody here, this picture should be relevant, as I was guided to draw that for this channel. So she knows. She knows. She knows. Jennifer or Stacy. Anyways, a Ford Escape could be significant. Bankruptcy, perhaps forced, is significant. Also, a neighbor causing drama could be significant to this channel. Trying to make you look like you're causing some sort of drama. And then I had a vision of like my mom, who I am estranged from. I had a vision of her, and it's like she was drawing a picture of me receiving money. But I feel like it was like a money manifesting drawings came to mind when I saw this. So my mother's, or a mother is drawing manifestation drawings. Could be significant. A mother that you could be estranged from. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's a mother, like a friend that's a mother that you're estranged from, that you've moved away from. An aunt, somebody in your life that's a mother figure. They could be drawing some sort of manifestation drawings or something. For whatever reason, that's came up. It's like it was very strange to see that. So strange mother drawing manifestation drawings. And something about a white Ford Escapade is significant as well. And then maybe a getaway car or something. I don't know what they're getting away from, but that was the energy of what I felt when I saw this. And I don't know, something about 10 a.m. could be significant. So I'm going to go in and do a little reading on this channel, on this dream, on these visions that I received. Something about a mosque, a church changing into a mosque, something about religion could be significant. And drowning. I remember coughing and coughing now. Something about clearing your throat, coughing, and then the thought that someone drowning. And then that reminded me of when I almost drowned at a friend's pool. So a friend's pool could be significant in regards to this. Maybe this is happening in Instable. Maybe this is somebody who has a pool and their friend almost drowned at the pool, or someone is drowning at someone's pool. And again, a woman with the dark hair could potentially look like this woman, short dark hair, and may have once had long blonde hair, very thick, luxurious hair. Very beautiful, beautiful person. So what cards am I going to use for this? I think we're going to go in with these guys. We're going to take my landscapes just because Across the World just came up for me. I like these cards. I haven't used them in a little while. Let me just give them a little shuffle. Anyways, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope that May has treated you wonderfully. I am playing a bit of catch up with some of my channels. It's been a little while. We've had a lot of birthdays celebrating here. And we've had a lot of other work that we've been working on. And very fruitful, very busy time around here. But I made a point to come in and try to do some readings today. At least get 2 done. So this is reading number 2 that I've channeled today. So let's get into this energy. Tell me, Spirit, what's going on with this channel here? March 30th could be significant for this channel as well. Tell me about this vision, this woman. Tell me about this drowning, this friend's pool. What happened here? Okay, so we have a Knight of Cups. And I'm going to take this card because it kind of flipped up, it went back in. We're going to take a 5 of Wands. So fighting could be significant. I'm going to look up in this deck what these mean because this deck is a little bit different. So we have a Knight of Cups and we have a 5 of Wands. I also feel like while I'm doing the shuffle here, I feel like my breath got a little bit labored, and I'm noticing it feels like the cards are like they're staying tight together. They don't want to rip apart. So people could be clustering together and not wanting to veer away from whatever the storyline is of whatever this could be, this channel could be about. Could be pertaining to what I just expressed, something about a mosque, something about religion, something about Istanbul, something about drowning, the vision of the woman. Could be about an escapade, escaping something, 10 o'clock. It could also be about someone going bankrupt or being forced to go into bankruptcy. Some sort of, I just heard repoed. Somebody is getting something repoed. That sucks. I had that happen to me. Yeah. Okay, so then we have a 5 of Swords that just fell on the floor as well. That's goal destiny. So a Knight of Cups, a 5 of Wands, and a 5 of Swords. I was seeing a lot of 555s today. I saw some numbers today too that might be significant as well, which was kind of funny. 177, 188, 199 in a row. It was really funny to see these numbers. It was like, am I just like really seeing this scale going up? So something's coming afoot, something's coming to an end, something's coming to be revealed, something lucky, something closing, something commencing, action. Could all be relevant. I'm gonna look up those numbers after we have some time. If this doesn't go too long, I'll check those out if I remember. They don't want to come out. They're tightly knit, tightly woven. Okay, what's next? What's in the past here? Ace of Wands. Upright. Ooh. So it came out in the upright, the Four of Swords. But it landed kind of reversed, and I was told take it reverse. Take it the way it landed. So I'll be obedient. So the Four of Swords in reverse, coughing is coming up. Something is coming up to be revealed, to be understood, to be known. As always, guys, place this energy where it fits. Don't make it fit. If it's not your message, you'll know it's not your message. Just because you can kind of see, envision it in your life doesn't mean it is your life. You want to make sure that it's actually for you. You know, there might be bits and pieces to a message that could be for you, but not necessarily the whole message. However, if the whole message is for sure resonating with you, then this is obviously going to be your message. Five of Pentacles is sideways. Future energy. 555. 3 5s. Let's see here. Where's this going? Oops. Pardon me. I have a Page of Cups here. Let me just move these cards out of the way. Get a sip of water. What's in the environment? Ooh, that just slipped right out. Just a second, guys. I gotta move my desk. Two of Swords in reverse. That one just kind of slid. Did anything else fall? I don't think so. Sideways, King of Swords. King of Swords is usually some sort of authority figure. Coming in sideways, though. Could be corrupt. They're in their emotions. Or maybe something is being revealed about that. We'll get into it in a minute. See what that card's really about. Just want to make sure that what I'm stating is accurate. What's the outcome? Eight of Swords in reverse. Let me just pause this to catch it 1 second. Okay, guys. So we have a Knight of Cups that came up right off the bat. And the Five of Wands came up as well. I don't know, is it just me? Is my camera going darker? I hope it doesn't shut off. Okay, so we have a Knight of Wands, and we have a Knight of Cups and a Five of Wands. So this Knight of Wands energy, place it where it fits, could be female, male. They have a very romanticizing energy about them. There's this romantic spirit. It's they're ideal. They're doing something impractical. This card is about something that they're creating. This delusion in their mind, this facade about a circumstance. They're they're looking at your situation perhaps, and they're romanticizing it. They're making it seem like it is bigger than it actually is. So the reality of whatever you are experiencing it, they have in their mind that, like, let's say you're somebody who is struggling, they think you're rich. Let's say you have a relationship that's, if you've worked hard to keep your relationship in the homeostasis that it's in, because that's what relationships are, right? Like, we have to understand that the movies we watch, these romantic movies we watch, is not really what relationships are, right? Love is not what these movies are showing us that they are. Love is working on a connection with someone. Love is having mutual respect for somebody and mutual feelings towards somebody. And, there's a similarity between the two. And this is hard work, right? When you're with somebody for a long time, you work hard to keep the homeostasis of the relationship going. And the reason why you work hard is because you want it to work, right? Two people love each other, they make it work. You go through the ups and the downs together and the hardships, right? So this is somebody who is watching you in this relationship, and they may have just come in. This could be past, present, future energy. They may have just come in, and they're thinking whatever you have, they want. They think it's really amazing, and it's like much grandeur than what you're actually. It's like you're not really sharing this with the person, but they have this in their mind, this romantic movie going on about what you're actually experiencing, and it's not that. Although you're in love with who you're with, or whatever it is or was, if maybe something like that's going on here. And like with the Five of Cups, it's like needing some sort of cooperation to keep something going. And there's some sort of, in this particular deck, this card signifies like some sort of truce going on, like some sort of an agreement that's influencing this romantic spirit. So it could be like somebody got in the way of someone's relationship. They thought it was going to be so much grander than it was. Something occurred between two people because they had this idea, and they were very naive about whatever this idea was that they had. They believed something that wasn't factual. It's like when you tell the truth about something, you can't. When you look at the truth of something, it's very clear to see the truth. When someone's speaking the truth, it's very clear to hear the truth. When someone is lying, there's very telltale signs that it's a lie. And that person is likely not going to keep their story straight. That is very prominent in the energy. I've had to explain that a few times in this energy today. So some sort of truce, some sort of agreement, some sort of cooperation in a circumstance that occurred because somebody was naive and romanticized somebody's situation and put their nose where it didn't belong. Okay? So something to do with that is going on. Some sort of circumstance. And this led to, or the goal was, a Five of Swords. In this particular deck, the Five of Swords came out. It's about abuse of, it's about, this card kind of came out, I believe it was upright. Sorry, I don't think I'm seeing that card clearly. I think it's an abuse of power, and I think it's something very cruel, but I want to double check that that's accurate. So for some reason I was seeing that card upside down, but I know it didn't come out upside down. Five of Swords. So I just want to see, why am I seeing that? Yeah, so it's okay. There's some sort of compromise that happened, some sort of remorse regarding this situation. It's in the upright. So this card, something had to come into truth. Some sort of agreement was made due to some sort of naive assumption that someone made and placed their energy into a Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Cups placed their energy into somebody else. Sounds like an affair or some sort of one night stand that occurred, and there was some sort of agreement not to speak of it moving forward. And this card being like they compromised a circumstance, so it could have been a compromised relationship, and they're feeling very remorseful because they have affected the relationship, but I feel like the remorse is not so much for what they affected. I feel like the intent on the part of the two people that are in this agreement together, the intent was to create turmoil and discord for you. And they're only feeling remorse because something has occurred out of the circumstance that is out of their control and wasn't understood, wasn't even a thought in the naive reality, the romanticizing spirit that was occurring between the two, didn't consider this particular outcome. And this is leading to having to be very remorseful in regards to this compromising decision that was made. That's what that is telling me. And then we have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, if you look at this tree trunk, the circles represent how old the tree is, right? And in nature, when you look at the tree trunk, you can tell the seasons where they had like a really wet summer or they had a really dry summer, where it may have had a fire or some sort of significance of bug infestation. This would all be seen in the circles of the tree, much like the human body, right? When we eat bad food, it shows up. It could show up in multiple ways. It could affect our mental thoughts, the way we think, the clarity that we have. It could affect our skin. It could affect our gut, right? So that's just one example of what you put into yourself. You put will show up outwards, right? So with this, Ace of Wands in this particular deck, this is about like a creative spark. This is an idea. And this is being enthusiastic about it. So whatever this was with this Knight of Cups, they had this surge of understanding, this idea, and it was like a creative genius, whatever this idea was in their mind in that moment in time. And this is past energy. And it's like the experience that sparked this movement to create this compromised situation. It's very clear in the lines of this person or these people's stories. You cannot, there's no way of getting out of this imprinting that has occurred. I don't know why. Maybe you're seeing it this way as well. The center of this is really dark, and it's almost looking like a placenta with like an umbilical cord to me. I don't know, maybe a baby. I mean, there's a Page of Cups in the current energy. Possible. Maybe a baby came out of this situation. Maybe there was a pregnancy that occurred in this situation. I just heard untold. Maybe an untold pregnancy happened out of the situation. This has come up before as well. Anyhow, Four of Swords in the reverse. The Four of Swords in reverse is the recent past. And this is somebody who's having a mental overload in regards to the choices and the decisions that they made. This is somebody that is fully stressed out about a dynamic, about something that has occurred. So this is in the recent past. This is in the recent past. The Ace of Wands is in the past. The past is coming up to bite them in the arse right now. Something that was hidden, something that was compromised, something that was agreed upon, a truce that was agreed upon, is causing someone mental stress, is causing someone an overbearing overload of mental stress at this time for some reason. So something is coming out in the light, or something has been revealed, something has been made aware, something has been questioned, something in regards to whatever this experience was that occurred to you, my dear watcher, my dear collective. Maybe this is you that did this to somebody, or maybe this is you that this happened to. So you guys can place this where it fits. I feel like this maybe happened to you, and maybe somebody got in the middle of your relationship and and they had this idea to maybe like rip it apart, because I'm seeing like ripped at the seams. I'm seeing like a picture ripping, like it's like this idea they have of who you are, somebody from your past, because this also showcased somebody from my past that looks one way, but in the past I also saw this person. So that could also be significant. Like maybe they had you stuck in this. It's like, it's so funny to me when you see people from your past and you have this idea that they're the same person that you met when you were however old you were when you met them. In this particular channel, I keep getting a tickle in my throat. In this channel, the ages 8 to 11 can be significant. So maybe this is a page of cups we're talking about who's 8 to 11 years old. If that's a child, if some child was born out of this circumstance, maybe somebody broke your relationship up and they had a kid. Maybe this is unknown and maybe this is being revealed. This has come up before in this type of energy. I've channeled this before. This is definitely something. We have the Ace of Pentacles and it came out sideways. And when I look at the Ace of Pentacles, this is like, in the upright, it's like wanting forgiveness. This is like, it's essential. It's like the essentiality of the whole circumstance is in need of forgiveness and movement forward, right? But then in the reverse, it's about misery and disgrace. Somebody is in misery because they were disgraced. They were disgraceful to you. Maybe you have children with somebody and somebody broke up your family. Maybe they were disgraceful to your children, to their children. Maybe they were disgraceful to their lineage. Maybe both parties were disgraceful to their lineages. Maybe there's just something that you just cannot unsee. It's coming up. The throat chakra is all about expressing truth. It's about lies being stuck, things being suppressed, not being truthful in who you are. And when you start to get coughs and stuff coming out, this is coming up for this channel for a reason. It's like there's something that you cannot unsee. And that I'm going to take this card both ways, because I feel like this person perhaps wants forgiveness, but I think it's more so that they made the mistake in the first place and that they caused this situation. I don't think it's so much that they care about you forgiving them. I think it's just the idea of having you forgive them would make them look a lot better in their eyes, in their mind, because they're like in this Knight of Cups energy, this romanticizing idealism type of energy where they're placing some sort of construct, this facade, this soap opera, if you will. It's like a soap opera. As I say that, my glasses got kind of foggy. It's like a soap opera effect. This person's living in a soap opera. They're not mentally stable, perhaps. That's for somebody here. In the current energy, we have the Page of Cups. And in the environment, we have a Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay? And the Page of Cups lands underneath the Ace of Wands in this reading. The Ace of Wands, where every rind of the trunk tells a story, and there's no way you can hide from a drought, from overwatering, from a fire, from an infestation, from a placenta umbilical cord imprint in a womb space. Our bones tell stories beyond the years of our passing. The density of our bones, women's pelvises expand in pregnancy. They imprint long after a child's born, their cells are still in the woman's brain, making their connection to their child that much more. When their child feels upset, it affects the mother much more than it would affect the father, because the cells are intertwined for life. In a woman's womb, when she is born, is her grandmother's eggs. Imprinting, spiritually speaking, doesn't lie. Truth doesn't lie. Damage doesn't lie. It's very relevant. Anyhow, Page of Cups and the Two of Swords. So the Page of Cups is an inner child sensitivity. This could be a child. I feel like this is a child. And the Two of Swords in the reverse is indecision and stagnation. There is an indecision that was made. There's some sort of decision that was made that was left as something energetically waving in the wind. And it's right now in the environment. Like, it's like you plain to see. You can't forget it. Somebody's being plagued with the memory of this. Something is coming up where you just can't unsee this. You can't forget about this energy. It's not going anywhere until this gets resolved, until this gets dealt with. And we have, in their emotions, we have a King of Swords that came out sideways. And the upright, the King of Swords, is all about integrity, authority. They're in a position of power. But because it came out sideways, their position of power, to me, has been compromised. And it's like they're thirsty for power, and they're trying to do something inhumane to keep that power. And when I look at this, I think of the current energy, which is the Page of Cups. So we're just going to clarify the King of Swords. I just had 4 cards flop out on the floor, and the Page of Cups flopped out on the floor. Hold on, I want to see this alignment too. The 5 of Cups again. Okay, so a Page of Cups, a 5 of Cups, a 6 of Cups. Some sort of memory, emotional memory imprint. And the 9 of Cups. Having your cake and eating it too comes to mind. So the 6 of Cups, let me just see this deck here. Let me look at this. So we have the Page of Cups, which is learning to cope with rising emotions. This could also be reflection because this is landing on the King of Swords. There's some sort of reflection. The King of Swords could be the energy of somebody who put themselves as an authority figure in your life, who place themselves in a position with this Knight of Cups energy. So place it how it fits, male or female, whatever that is in your life. But I'm guessing this King of Swords is finding messages. Like there's like messages coming through, emotional messages coming through. And this is like a learning of news that's creating emotional understanding of something. And it's having to reflect. And then we have the 5 of Cups, which is a possible loss or justified fears. And it's also like this return of negative people or situations. So somebody could be coming around full circle in regards to this. So this person, whoever this is in your life who may have done this to you, they were somebody who was like an op in your life. They were always out to get you. They were always out against you, but they probably painted a smile on their face and acted like things were cool with you. But the reality was they just wanted everything that you had. They were very jealous of you. And that backfired on them hardcore by the looks of it. We have the 6 of Cups as well. Lots of cups. Salty, salty, salty energy. The 6 of Cups is about pleasant memories. So again, I feel like this is like the soap opera effect. Like they maybe are conjuring up like you have pleasant memories with them, but the reality is you don't have pleasant memories with them. I think you were a good friend to them, but they were not necessarily a good friend to you. So this is about useful reflections. This is, oh my God, my throat. This is about relief deriving from simple people or things. That really fits with the Knight of Cups energy. It's like coming in hot with this romantic spirit, wanting to like break down everything that you have just to like show you they're better. Some weird, twisted, soap opera kind of energy. And then the Nine of Cups, it's like they agreed to do this cheerfully. They were happy to do this. They were dancing on tabletops to get in the way of whatever you had that made you happy. And because they did that, they didn't expect, like they were victorious in it. They were very gluttonous in it. They wanted it and they got it, right? They went out of their way to make sure they got it. But the reality is they weren't expecting the flip side of what being gluttonous could bring. It's like they wanted their cake and eating it too. Well, now they're going to have it. Or they received it in the form of a baby. And that is leading to some sort of advantage now for you, for whatever reason. The Nine of Cups, it's like they were having an advantage by breaking you up, but the advantage really ended up being in your favor for some reason. So that could be significant future energy coming in. This is why they're in their emotions, because whatever this is that's coming out that they're trying to hide at all costs, with the King of Swords, their integrity is compromised. The authority of whoever they said that they were in your life has been compromised. Whether this is an actual authority figure or this is just the way this person viewed themselves in your lives, whatever it is, they're thirsty for power over you, and whatever they want, it's very inhumane and it's very unrealistic. They are not living in reality. That person is checked out. They're not embodied. And they're trying to keep it together and showcase that they are, but they're really not, and I think people are seeing it. We have the Eight of Swords finalizing this reading. And this is some sort of persecution or trap that they wished for you. I feel like by doing all of this, they wanted to persecute you for something. And I feel like it's unjust. Whatever this is, this trap that they wanted to place you in was very unjust. And it was a mental disorder in their perception. Soap opera. I'm just seeing flashing lights and I'm seeing days of our lives. And I'm seeing very dramatic understandings of a dynamic that's not true. So whatever it was that they thought they were going to have, they didn't succeed. Everything they hoped would happen to you, I think you have surpassed it, and you haven't like they were hoping that you would be depressed and like you're like probably super happy. They were thinking that you would be stuck in a rut and you would never move on, and here you are, you've moved on and you found love again or something. They thought that you would be in the trenches begging for help, but you're actually doing your own thing and doing very well. It's like the reverse. It's like everything that they wanted for you, it's almost like this reversal land, and they're actually receiving it, and you're actually getting the opposite because they did everything with malintent to somebody who was undeserving of it. We have to pray for people like this. This is somebody who has a mental situation going on. They don't see things clearly. They don't see things straight, and they're in this destitute situation due to this dynamic that they have lived that created this situation for them in the first place. Anywho, I'm going to leave that message there. If this resonated with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. As always, I'm very grateful for all of your presence here. Thank you for sharing space with me. Until next time, okay? Take care.